Today, we wanted to express our appreciation and support to all information reporting and tax operations teams working hard on end-of-year reporting. Last Friday, the 31st of January, was the first big deadline for 1099 reporting, with so many forms being required to be sent to recipients. However, the reporting season isn't over. So, Sean, can you share some important deadlines and extension dates for 1099 forms in 2025, as well as key information about Form 945?
Thanks, Tanea. First, let's talk about the 1099 form deadlines for the year. As you mentioned, January 31st was the primary deadline for many form types such as NEC, 1099 INT, dividends, 1099C, A, miscellaneous. All these forms that report income for individuals needed to be sent to them by last Friday. Coming up here in a couple weeks on February 15th is the deadline for Form 1099B, which reports proceeds for broker exchange. If you don't have to deal with those, you're lucky. Cost basis and 1099B reporting tends to be some of the more complex transactions to report. On February 28th, if you're filing 1099 forms on paper, this is your deadline to submit those to the IRS, which includes 1099 miscellaneous forms. So you have your deadline for the recipients for paper copies, and then a separate deadline for the IRS for paper copies. If you're filing your information electronically to the IRS, your due date is March 31st. You have until that day to submit a text file through the IRS portals. However, if you need more time to file to the IRS, you can request a 30-day extension on Form 8809, which is the application for extension of time to file information returns. However, you should note that the extension does not apply to the copies which are required to go to the recipients. So after you've done all this 1099, at the same time, you've also supposed to complete a Form 945. This form is used to report the federal income tax withheld for any non-payroll payments, which also includes any payments made that had backup withholding. This annual return was due Friday, January 31st, but there's also an extended deadline depending on your deposit schedule of your backup withholding. Good luck to all making this tax season a smooth one. While TAINA supports the onboarding process of your operations, our subject matter experts have years of tax reporting experience. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or need any other assistance.